Pink ladies, T-Birds, just happen to be watchers of my name is Jimmi Pynk. Strap in. Because my name is Jimmi Pynk and I have something to say. So thank you so much for joining me. Excuse my hair over there. I have this angle a little bit awkward. But again, my name is Jimmi Pynk, and some of you are going to be new to this channel because this is not really my usual type of video. For my Pink ladies and T-Birds, my House of Grease members have been here with me for a while. They are aware that I have, at this point, reviewed every season of 13 Reasons Why. I can't review it this season because it's unwatchable. Sorry, not sorry. It's unwatchable. It's 91 degrees. I turned the air conditioner off, but y'all don't have to deal with the fan. I have a thyroid condition. Some of you guys are going to say, well, there have been other final seasons of shows that have been practically unwatchable. And you're right. I can name Weeds. I can name The Office. I can name Lost. I can definitely name True Blood. Revenge. Scandal. It's because of those shows that I refuse to watch the rest of 13 Reasons Why. Now, because of my morbid curiosity, I do know what happens in season 4 of 13 Reasons Why. Because after all, morbid curiosity is the exact reason why we ever watched 13 Reasons Why. So, for those of you guys that are not familiar with 13 Reasons Why, a little background, it is based on a young adult novel. I am aware that I am not the target audience, but I love teen melodrama. So, after season 1, we deal with issues of mental health, suicide, rape, the systematic patriarchy and rape culture. We discuss a lot of topics in 13 Reasons Why, and season 1, which was based on the book with the source material, pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was sad. It was not without its controversy because every single expert tells you what to do when portraying stories about suicide, and 13 Reasons Why did the exact opposite. Season 2, no source material. We get into, again, we're now getting into school responsibility for their students. Parents grieving the death of a child, survivors of suicide, survivors of rape. There's going to be some spoilers here, folks, because I'm going to have to start naming names in a little bit. Again, we're now finding out that it really is a systematic patriarchy with a rape culture. We deal with teen pregnancy. And we cap all of that off with good old-fashioned school shooting. Oh, 13 Reasons Why wants to be Degrassi so very bad. I'm going to jump a little bit before I get into season 3 because I want to stop at season 2. Season 1 and season 2 tackle some very serious subject matter. Some well, some horrible. We have substance abuse is introduced. We have you know, people admitting to being, that's season 3. But we do have people admitting to being raped. We have people fighting against date rape and the he said, she said. There's some important topics here. Before I get into season 3, I want to reiterate the reason why I'm making this video. Because, oh, you totally go there, but you're exasperating some major tropes where you had the opportunity to actually be the show that you want to be and speak on real issues. We have the bury your gay trope. Oh, because it's there. Big time. We also have the minority characters basically just being supporting characters. Let me continue. So, remember I said that because we're going to get into that once I explain to you guys season 3. So, season 3, we have the big bad. Spoiler alert in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have the big bad, the lead rapist, Bryce Walker. We come into season 3 because somebody murked that ass. Everybody and their mother was like, okay, well, season 2 is done. Hannah Baker is gone. Boop, 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 boop. Hannah Baker is the girl who killed herself. Boop, 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 boop. Let's be done with that. Somebody killed Bryce Walker. Now we're all intrigued. Because again, for 2 seasons, you have set him up to be the big bad. He's a bully. He's an entitled, spoiled, rich white kid. Straight. Who goes around like he owns shit, especially pussy. Yeah, I said it, because he just taking it left and right. We found out it's a whole clubhouse, the whole baseball team, because of course he's a 3-sport athlete, because of course he is. The whole thing, and they're taking girls to the clubhouse, and they think they going for the kick it, and they're getting drugged and raped, and you're pushing child pornography because there's photos of it. They painted this boy out to be the devil incarnate. And we get to season 3, somebody murdered him. And now they want to make him like, he's just a teenage boy. He's no different than anybody else. Yeah, that's the narrative we get on season 3. If you're unfamiliar with the show. If you are familiar with the show, you will understand the change in my tone of voice where I kind of got like real hood with it, because the fuck. Right? Okay. With that, now I'm going to get into, I'm starting to start getting into the burying your gays trope. With that, at the end of season 2, we have another character, Monty de la Cruz. Monty is physically abused. Like I said, y'all are covering a lot of topics. Some well, some not so well. He's a bully at school because he gets abused, right? Psych! No, it's because he's a closeted homosexual. And guess what happens to him at the end of season 3? After he butt raped somebody with a plunger in season 2, and is our other big bad, he's basically Bryce's henchman. And they even lead towards a possible he was in love with Bryce, because God forbid we ever have a story about a queer teenager that didn't fall in love with their best friend, right? More on that season 4. God forbid we don't have that trope, but they never show it. But he goes to a party. Guess what? Monty is a closeted homosexual. And guess what happens at the end of season 2 or season 3? He goes to jail for raping a kid with a broom, I mean, with a plunger, which was an act of violence, not a sexual act, even though it is rape. Yeah, he put a plumber up somebody's ass, which is why the kid turned around and was going to do the school shooting. Okay. Alright, though. He gets shivved in jail and is murdered. And because the guy that killed Bryce Walker, father is the sheriff, they already knew he was dead, so they pinned the murder on him. Except for, now we gotta feel bad for Monty, because he finally let his homosexuality out, even though he was still in the closet, to one person, and the night of Bryce's murder, he was fucking an old boy, Winston. You can't make this shit up. This sounds like a bad fucking fanfic. You cannot make this shit up, and in essence, it is a bad fanfic, because we were introduced to these characters from the source material of 13 Reasons Why. It is a bad fanfic. It absolutely is a bad fanfic. That's absolutely what it is. So, now, Monty is dead. And Bryce is dead. These are our two big bads of the show, ladies and gentlemen. These are our two big bads of the show. Now we go into season 4 with both of them dead. By the way, Monty is also Hispanic. So you already buried your one, because at this point in time, that's your one gay on the show. That's your one gay. I'm sorry, I forgot about Tony, whose whole family got taken away from him by Bryce's family because, of course, they're illegals, and while he was at work or at school or somewhere, or as a matter of fact, I think fucking around with his boyfriend, his whole family got deported. Do you see where I'm going with this? Not only are like you fucking over the gay and the gay and the people of color on the show, they're getting consequences that the worst people on the show ain't even getting. Monty was a piece of shit, but his backstory was a little bit more developed, even though they did quit. Okay, your father beats you, and you're a closeted homosexual, and he says the type of shit that makes you feel like you can't come out, to the point where the dude that he's fucking Winston, he beat his ass, by the way. Let's not forget that. Because he was like, hey, call me sometime, and he ain't want nobody to know he's gay, so he beat that ass. And he physically raped somebody. But instead of him getting the redemption arc of him apologizing to Tyler, the kid that he physically abused, or maybe even possibly coming around after, you know, he gets out of juvie, because after all, he would have been going to jail. He wasn't 18 yet. Y'all killed him off. But Bryce, the big bad, the serial rapist, got somebody's family deported, paying people off, raped his best friend's girlfriend, and a girl who killed herself. The most despicable person on the show. The whole season was a redemption arc for him. You know, the rich cisgender white guy. Let's get into the reason why I'm not watching season 4. First and foremost, if y'all are not aware, because I know some of these people, some of my people are going to watch this that don't watch 13 Reasons Why. Some of you people are watching it because you watch 13 Reasons Why. So I'm going to over-explain some stuff. I apologize. So you have Clay, who is basically our protagonist, is our main character. Clay, who did nothing wrong to Hannah Baker. He's on the tapes, and he has to do everything, but really, I loved you. Sorry I didn't break your virginity. Okay, then you're in love with her, so you can't move on. You have a second girlfriend that has a breakdown. Now you have another love interest who was fucking Bryce, because she's not from here. She's not from here. This is a black British girl whose mother is taking care of Bryce's grandfather, whose grandfather is racist. Because Bryce has to get this arc. So now Bryce has a girl who actually likes him for him. Give me a fucking break. Anyway, but Clay has always been able to see Hannah. Then Clay is able to see Bryce. And now Clay can see Monty. And now we realize that Clay's ass is crazy. I am not making light of mental illness. In any case, I have anxiety and depression myself. I am not making fun of it, but I'm going to talk candidly. The nigga batshit crazy, okay? We talking about a TV show. We not talking about it in real life, as much as they want to make like they are addressing real life issues. By the time we conclude this, I will explain to you why the real life issues they ain't even fucking with. So, he's the kid from The Sixth Sense. He sees dead people. Except for now, Jessica can see Bryce. So is both of y'all having a psychotic break? No, just Clay? Okay, cool. But now, him and Ani, who came in season 3 and was just the ringleader of orchestrating the cover-up for Bryce's murder, even though she was the one that was fucking him, and don't know none of these people from Ada Apple Butter because she just started school, but I'm going to help y'all cover this shit up. Now her and Clay are a couple. Clay is seeing people something that I wasn't even surprised to see. This is why I stopped watching this shit after episode 4. Somebody painted graffiti and said Monty was framed. So we have his gay lover. He knows something is up, right? We have Monty's sister. Pop the brakes. He has a sister. Monty had a little sister. Monty had a little sister that's old enough to be in school with y'all, so not that much younger than Monty. Because he would have been a senior, and at the very least, she's a freshman. So you mean to tell me the father is beating his ass, and he's a closeted homosexual, and the sister ain't noticed none of this shit, so he couldn't confide in his sister? He just had to be a whole asshole. The sister never said nothing? And we never seen the sister before? Okay. Okay. Now, we find out this paint on Clay's locker. Then, next few minutes, he talking about something, I think I'm losing time. Y'all, when I tell y'all I knew as soon as he said I'm losing time, I said, oh, you painted that Monty was framed. Because you schizophrenic now. Here's the thing, bad fanfic. If you were going to lead up to him being able to see dead people, whether it was in his mind or it was a schizophrenic vision or whatever, that's cool to set that up until you show me that other people can see dead people in their head too. But only he's having a psychotic break. Now, I have to talk about Justin, and spoiler alert in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because I'm going to go back to the bury your gays trope. Justin had a drug problem. Justin was molested at a young age. Justin was turning tricks with men to get money for drugs. Y'all give him the best character arc where he went from being so scared and so fragile because he was poor and not getting in no kind of trouble and not starting no shit that he was getting picked on any further in school because Bryce stopped that from happening when they was kids, that this man raped your girlfriend and you stayed quiet about the shit. To being on drugs because you couldn't cope with your life. To do all this to getting adopted by Clay's family. So now that's your brother. For you to do a complete 180 for these motherfuckers to give you AIDS and die. Are you fucking kidding me? Bad fanfic. So you're going to take the character, the one character we get that did a positive turnaround. A positive turnaround. Hold on. Call me Tyrion Lannister because I drink and I know things, motherfucker. Listen. You have one character on this show that had a positive turnaround. And because he turned some tricks with some men, he dies at the end. The one person that had a redemption arc, a true redemption arc over all 4 seasons. And you killed him with AIDS, no less. Don't do drugs and don't have anal gay sex kids. Cause what are you really trying to fucking say? He was on heroin, so he was using needles. So you let him have the arc where he turns around to kill him off. That is some bogus bullshit there. Okay? Now, you now have, let's flip that coin a little bit. Because I'm going to continue to get in the way of the 13 reasons why I did these minority characters too. So now, you have on the complete opposite end of the structure, you have my favorite character. I can't think of his name right now because I just always call him Fine Ass Ross Butler. Fine Ass Ross Butler, who has always been the voice of reason throughout the entire show. Since we found out about the tapes, and he was on the tapes, oh, by the way, yeah, he broke Hannah Baker's virginity and they was fucking all summer, but that wasn't in her tape. Has always been the voice of reason. We should just go to the cops. We should just do this. Is the one that helped Bryce's girlfriend, even though they were not a couple and they were just friends. But it was the one that helped him. Was the one that turned over the kiddie porn to show that, like, hey, these sports teams is in here drugging bitches and running trains, and I don't really want to be outed as the person that said it because, like, I'm trying to get a scholarship or whatnot, and I love playing sports, but this shit got to stop. Or one person who is the voice of reason for everything. The one person who went and turned himself in and said, I killed Bryce Walker because I did this and this and this and this. The one person was like, I know I beat that ass. I know I broke his arms and his legs, and maybe he rolled over to the ocean and drowned or whatever. Maybe he hit his head because at first they said it was head trauma. The person that turned himself in for them to say, no, he drowned, you didn't do it. All of a sudden, now has an alcohol problem, and y'all get to the end of the goddamn series and he about to rape somebody. Are you fucking kidding me? The one person that's been the voice of reason the entire series. Y'all made him a drunk, and at the end, he goes to rape somebody. The person that started trying to be nice to Hannah Baker. So nice, in fact, that they had a whole summer relationship. The person that was sneaking the clues with the photographs that they was raping girls. The one who turned himself in for killing Bryce Walker, and he didn't even know if he did it or not. The one that always said, let's go to the cops. Now he's Bryce. Really though? Really? Oh, but I forgot Clay was lingering over somebody, like he might was about to tag somebody ass while they was passed out too. Listen, Linda, listen. It's fucked up. Let's get into Jessica, who outside of Hannah Baker has probably gone through the most, even more than Clay. You was raped, your boyfriend kept it quiet, you testified and the person got off, you tried to start a group for victims of sexual assault, but you named it hoe. You got assaulted on a football field, you started a riot, well, Clay did too. You started a riot, your boyfriend, who is the love of your life, dies. And before that, he's trying to be clean on drugs, and they make her a complete bitch about it because he's like, I need to handle my sobriety. So I really can't be in a relationship, which I understand as a teenager, you might not know that, but that's in every fucking 12-step program that I'm sure they have gone over with in your school. Because your boyfriend's an addict, you didn't want to take a look at what his steps was that he had to do. You knew y'all weren't going to be in a relationship. So then you start messing with Diego, another new character and person of color, who just happens to be the new big bad. Are you fucking kidding me? And where was you at this whole time with Bryce? Did you just transfer to this school? Did you just transfer over here? Cause where you been, sis? Where you been? We get a little side story about Alex is gay now. The only gay who doesn't get buried, you know, the murderer, the person who actually killed Bryce Walker, whose father is a sheriff, you know, that Alex. Oh, he gets to be gay, graduate from high school and everything like nothing happened. The actual murderer. It's silly. And then you go to Winston, who transfers to Liberty High School despite being rich as fuck and goes to a prep school, and your mom was like, yeah, cool, your senior year, you can go to a fucking public school where people are dying left and right, and it's a gang controversy about that school. Come on, y'all. Bad fan fiction. Bad fan fiction. But the way this series is set up, like your Degrassi Junior High, and you want to tackle all these subjects, you had a full-fledged police riot where students were attacked. Race not a factor, huh? You have this multi-ethnic cast, and I get it. You want to make like that's not a factor. I get that. You want to make like, oh, we just cast these people. This is just we just cast a rainbow, and I get that. But if you're gonna be the show that says I'm going to tackle tough topics, you're not tackling tough topics that are actually relevant to what the fuck is going on in the world. Okay. So let's talk about our queer characters. Our main ones at the very least. Tony, who was literally a non-factor. Oh, Tony wants to box now. Non-factor. So in all essence, that gay was buried. Alex is gay or bisexual now. Don't even know which one. Oh, our white gay. Murderer, scot-free, just fine. Our gay for pay is dead. Our other Hispanic gay that we just found out was gay is dead. And will be known for the rest of his life as a fucking murderer. A rapist and a murderer. So he didn't even get a redemption arc. Our black girls, who fucking cares? Anything great happen? Not really. Our Asian dude is the new Bryce. And our new Dominican character, a dick that was antagonizing our protagonist. Because apparently he's the bad guy. Not the guy that has been complicit in a cover-up of a murder, who has incited a riot, who has almost turned all your fucking friends in. So you gonna cover up the murder and then say, you know what, I'm gonna be the one to come clean though because you had a psychotic break. A riot, took a gun from a cop, could have killed Cal, sexy ass Ross Butler, Zach, I'm sorry, sexy ass Ross Butler in a drunk driver accident because that car flipped a couple times. I told you I didn't watch it, but I read all this stuff. It's a mess. And then the only real issue that we've discussed regarding homosexuality really is that Monty was closeted and Alex might be bisexual. That minor ass piece of shit. And we never really get an issue on race with the exception of, oh, well, Tony and his family is illegals. Gotta go. See ya. But you know, Bryce came and apologized for that. Here, have my car. All is forgiven. Because now let's make the big bad for 2 seasons and the serial fucking rapist the good guy before his death. The one motherfucker in the show that deserved to get killed. The one person in the show that really deserved to die. And that's how y'all got us on season 3 to begin with. Who killed Bryce Walker? Yeah, who did it? Who? Shout outs to them. And then it ended up being a goddamn redemption arc. You failed. 13 Reasons Why. You failed. And not only that, I'm not joking. I got to episode 4. I knew Clay was having some kind of psychotic break, that he was the one that was snitching and had painted that graffiti. I wasn't expecting Justin to die. Who should have died was Clay. That's who should have died. That's who should have died. If you want to raise the stakes of the show and really tell us something, you don't give the person who's had the redemption arc for 4 seasons. That's not who you kill. You kill the person that's been on a downfall for 4 seasons. That's who you kill. Damn, I know people was arguing about the finale of Lost, but at least it ended with Matthew Fox dying. Anyway, that's my rant. I don't do video essays. I do video oral reports. I do that. So that's what I did. So for those of my members of the House of Grease that was expecting your 13 Reasons Why review, this is it. Consider this it. Because I refuse to watch the rest of that series. I will not be duped into watching another final season. Life is too short. And I will not be duped into watching another bad final season because of brand loyalty ever again. With that being said, don't forget, Black Lives Matter and Happy Pride Month. Keep it greasy.
You want to be like me. You want to be like me. You wanna eat lunch with the cool kids, don't you? Told you I used to be you, I know you. Never learned to crew politics in high school. Now you earn a few funny looks in my school. I can show you how to hypnotize minds, fool. Like the chicks in the bunny books for fly dudes. Why you? Cause I see your potential.